The funniest thing about the flat earth debate isn't the science, it's the panic. You can talk about UFOs, aliens, Bigfoot, Atlantis, multiverse theory, and even past lives, and nobody blinks. But the moment you say, hey, maybe the Bible meant what it said about the firmament, about the sun moving and the earth being fixed, and suddenly every atheist, Catholic, Calvinist, and cartoon-watching space believer turns into a foaming NASA missionary. Nothing threatens the system more than a world where God is close, throne is above, and men cannot pretend that they are gods. You see, the globe isn't just a shape, it's a doctrine. It turns Genesis into a myth, the flood into a fairy tale, the firmament into poetry, and God into a distant cosmic landlord who does not intervene. If Earth is a spinning space marble, then man is an accident. But if the Earth is fixed, if it's enclosed and designed, then man is accountable. One model says, you're just stardust. The other says, you are made in the image of God. And that's why they will defend the globe harder than they defend the gospel. And that's the real issue. It's not curvature, not measurement, not atmosphere, density, but authority. If the Bible is right about the world we live in, then it's right about sin, hell, judgment, and the blood of Christ. But if you can convince a generation the ground under their feet is a lie, the sky above their head is fake, and reality is whatever science declares this week, then you've severed man from his creator before he's even old enough to read a verse. So when someone mocks flat earth believers, just smile. You're not arguing geography. You're pulling the emergency brake on a runaway train of deception. You are reminding people that God did not hang the earth on nothing. He established it and enclosed it. He structured it and he set his throne right above. That's not conspiracy. That's scripture. And the only people scared of it are the ones who are already bowed to the wrong God.
Somebody tagged me in this video, and it's supposed to explain why we can't see the curvature of Earth. And the premise of the video is that Earth is so gigantic in relation to us. We are so microscopic on Earth that we couldn't possibly see any curvature. Now, the only problem with this argument is that it negates another argument, which is that we can see boats disappear going over the curvature of Earth standing on a beach. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that Earth is so large you can't see the curvature and then in the same breath say that there's enough curvature over 3 miles to make an entire ship disappear. It doesn't make sense. We have a person standing here that's witnessing a ship vanish right before their eyes. Now, what could make this ship vanish if there is no curvature in between the person and the ship? Convergence, maybe? You guys need to wrap your head around this concept, or you'll forever think you're in outer space spinning on a rock where monkeys turned into talking people. The only reason you can see the sun, the stars, and the moon is because they are not millions of miles away from you. You've been finessed. Why? I have no idea. I don't have all the answers. I'm just pointing out the obvious. You can either take it or leave it. It's up to you. But this is your reality. Your perception of reality will not change the facts. And to see this, you need only to be a critical thinker. I think that's the issue here. Most globe enthusiasts don't think critically. And then you call us people who do think critically conspiracy theorists, when you guys are the ones with all the damn theories. The theory of relativity, the theory of evolution, the Big Bang theory, the theory of gravity. Everything about this globe that you believe in is dependent upon theories. And all they have to do is put the word scientific before theory, and you're sold on it. That's wild. Y'all enjoy being lied to.
Seems to be there's definitely a process about becoming a flat earther, you know. You become a denier at first when you first hear about it, because it's starting to change your reality. And then you start digging into it just a little bit, and you find out that there's more facts leading towards a flat, stationary Earth than there is a round, spinning, wet ball globe chasing a sun into infinite nowhere. So there's a bunch of different feelings that will come through, especially when you start losing your family and your friends, your coworkers and your neighbors and stuff, because you just aren't going to get it. It took you a while. It's going to take them a while. So we got to be real careful when we're laying seeds to people, that we put it on good fertile soil, people that are accepted to it, and they don't start getting in opposition with you right away, because you will lose more friends than you ever thought about. You know, you'll try to stay close to them, but then every time you bring up something about the shape of the earth or some of these things these truths that are out there from some of the lies and indoctrination we got, you'll find out that, you know, what you'll find out is everybody's growth is just a little bit different, and it takes more time. It doesn't just happen overnight. I was, even after a year or two being into it, I still question things from time to time, just to let it all kind of sink in. Once it's solid foundation for you and stuff, I would think once you got that knowledge, that's your job to kind of bring other people into these truths and stuff. That's the way we fight this battle that we're in right now. It's not so much the physical as it is getting out there and just sharing the truths with people. We can change things collectively as we all kind of get on the same track here and stuff. But it's a long, lonely process road at times. You fellowship with people that that are into the same type of thing, or at least receptive to it, which will help you with your own growth, rather than just trying to go out there and change everybody else's opinion that's either not ready for it or just can't understand it, or just sheer ignorance. So that's all I had to say. Thanks.
Yo, Miko, can you show me a pressure gradient without a container? And go.
Just a second.
And then after that, show me your recreation of tidal nodes on your globe holding water while spinning, and then the moon tidally lock creating them tidal nodes. And go.
What was the first?
The first one was showing a pressure gradient without a container. And go. I don't want to see any of the little Google screenshots that you do and point to. I want you to show you holding gases and a pressure gradient without a container. And go.
Miko, you don't need to type for this. There's no typing involved. What is wrong with you? What are you doing, buddy? Miko, why are you typing?
Yo, Miko, can you show me a pressure gradient without a container?
New Mandela effect just dropped. By now, everyone has heard about these two astronauts that have been stuck in space for more than 6 months. But so many people are claiming that they swear they remember these astronauts getting rescued already. And this is actually blowing my mind, because I myself vividly remember seeing a video probably about a month ago. This lady on a stretcher right after she was rescued. And I remember the video saying something along the lines of she was being taken to a hospital because her health had deteriorated from being in space for so long. Apparently that never happened, because they're still up there. Side note, how did they get Santa hats if they've been up there since spring? I have searched the internet for this video that I vividly remember seeing, and I can't find any trace of it. I did do some research because this totally has me freaked out. And people are saying that it's possible we're confusing these astronauts with a different crew that came back in October. But I remember this woman's face in the video. It was her. I remember this so vividly, and apparently it just never happened. They're still up there. I don't know, I feel like I'm losing my mind.
The Bible does not describe no spinning ball floating in space. It says in the book of Isaiah 40:22, he sits above the circle of the earth. Not a globe, a circle, because words matter, especially if it's in the ancient texts. And all through the scripture, it talks about the earth being stretched out, fixed, unmoving, with edges and foundation. That don't sound like a rock doing 1,000 miles per hour in space. Plus, they hide the truth. They've been doing it for years. They put it in the movies and cartoons. Because when you say something is fiction, people laugh. They chuckle. That's just animation, that's just a movie. When in reality, shit is facts. And that's how you say the quiet part out loud without being questioned. And then you got NASA. Why is that? I'm not claiming intent. I'm asking why the symbolism always stacks the same way.
This is my infrared footage, Nikon P900 at altitude and landing in LA. Now watch as I zoom in how these mountains in the distance appear to ramp up, but you can faintly see the horizon right behind the mountains and above them as I zoom in. Watch this. So when people say that the horizon appears to drop from a plane, well obviously it does that because you can't see through the opaqueness of the atmos, but my infrared clearly revealed that there is the horizon there. But it's very, very faint and very hard to see. But it is there. And you just can't see it because normal cameras and vision can't see through the atmos.
Pay attention to how this lady shuts this airplane door. Now, do you see how heavy duty that is? How it has to vacuum seal so that everyone's safe? Now watch how this astronaut shuts this extremely advanced space hatch. Yeah, while he's in outer space, he's using that to protect him from the radiation, the extreme temperature differences. Okay, whatever, dude. Have you noticed how the boots don't even match the footprints on the moon? And how sometimes the astronauts actually forget to put their shoes on the right way? So if they're so smart, and only the strongest, smartest human beings on Earth can go to space, then how can't they put their shoes on the right way? And how is the sun's light hitting the moon from two completely different angles in this photo? You know, the Red Hot Chili Peppers might have been right in that song, Californication, talking about how, you know, Hollywood may have taken part in the moon landing. I mean, seriously, does it really look like they're doing anything important up there? They're just like banging metal around and they're like, oh, look at me, I'm in space. They're in a bathtub in Austin, Texas. The Olympics had a lot of symbolism.
So I finally got it framed. The Tentrio Navum Terrarum de Frito. Probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's okay. The Rupus Nigris, or the black rock at the center. Of course, the four rivers separate the world or the realm.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Idialenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.